So friend, today our topic is consolidation of soil. Consolidation of soil. Here we will study, in this video lecture I am going to make you understand about the different stages of consolidation. Different stages of consolidation of soil. Number one consolidation or number one type is initial consolidation. Initial consolidation. Initial consolidation of soil. Initial consolidation of soil. What does it mean? What does it initial consolidation of soil means? So we go to the further. At first, the definition of initial consolidation of soil is, or initial consolidation of soil is, it is defined as the decrease in volume of soil just after the application of compressive force. Just after the application of force, the decrease in volume, it means, for example, we take this as a sample. This is a solid or a soil. It's not a solid, it's a soil. And when the compressive force is applied on it, its volume decreases. If compressive force is applied on it, its volume decreases. And that change in volume just after the application of compressive force is initial consolidation of force. It is its definition. Now we will study further about why the change in volume occurs. What is the cause of change in volume of this soil or soil particle? So we will know about the cause. So at first we should know that if soil is partially saturated. Do you know about partially saturation? The partially saturated soil is partially saturated. What does it mean? Partially saturation. Partially saturated means, at first we go through this. If this is a soil sample, it is partially saturated means there is air. So it means both, and water too. Water and air. There is water and air. Some amount of water and some amount of air. Partially saturation means it can absorb more water than it has. In actually, what amount it has, it can absorb more. If we drop here water, a bit of water, then it can absorb a bit, because there is a space where there is just air, no water. It means it is partially saturated. And the initial consolidation of soil for the partially saturated, it's a condition. If soil is partially saturated, then what is the cause of initial consolidation? If the soil is partially saturated, then the initial consolidation of soil is because of what? Emulsion of water, emulsion of air, emulsion and compression of air from voids. The soil sample is compacted or consolidated. Why? As it's a common thing. If we use our common sense, we can understand it. If there is a soil particle, water, all this, and air, if we just press it, the airs will just come out from there. The air will be removed out. When this is pressed, then air should be remove out. For example, we can just use anything. For example, I say this is a soil sample. As a soil sample, as it is filled with water. It is filled with water and air. And when I will just press or just apply the compressive force, then the air particles, the air voids, there will be air voids and there is the airs. And when I compress it, air will remove out and just its volume decreases. When in the same way, in a soil, when compressive force is applied, the air is removed and the volume is decreased. And the volume is decreased. That means emulsion and compression of air. Emulsion means just come out, just taking it out. Emulsion and compression of air from the voids where the air is. And the next reason, this is the reason or cause of decrease in volume. And the next reason for decrease or for consolidation of a soil is decrease or compression. Decrease, it will be appropriate to use compression instead of decrease. Compression of solid particle. As we know, soil is a solid particle. It's a solid particle. It means compression of solid particle. As we have example that there is the soil, it means it is a solid particle. But if it is compressed, if it is its particles, solid particles is compressed, also then its volume is decreased. It is of a solid particle. There is no compaction. It is in generally in powder form, but when it is compacted, the compression of solid particle also causes or result as compressive forces applied at air. It means the emulsion and compression of air from voids. There is two reasons of consolidation, initial consolidation of soil if soil is partially saturated. That is, one is emulsion and emulsion and compression of air from the voids and compression of solid particle. This was the initial consolidation of soil for soil partially saturated. If soil is partially saturated, then this is the condition, this is the cause or a reason, and this is the definition. And this definition is for both partially saturated and completely saturated or a saturated soil. So we will talk about now saturated soil. If soil is saturated, what will be the case? Saturated soil. If soil is saturated means it is full of water, or the amount of water it requires, it has. It means there is no space for air. There is no air. It means that it is saturated. It means there is no air, so we can its decrease in volume is not because of air. It is clear about that. So what's the reason? And as we know, liquid is not compressible. Liquid is not compressible. It is not compressed. We can't compress the liquid. So there is no compressible. Liquid is not compressible. We can compress the liquid. So what will cause the actual decrease in volume of the soil particle? It is because of just a soil particle. This soil sample, the volume of this soil sample decreases because of compaction or compression of, compaction. It is because of compaction or compression of solid particle of soil. It is because of compaction or compression of solid particle of the soil. So it was the reason for, if the soil is saturated, the decrease in volume is only because of compaction or compression of solid particle of the soil. And liquid, and there is just water, no presence of air. It means, and we know that liquid is not compressible. We can't compress the liquid. So there is no way to compress the liquid. So we have the only reason for compression or compaction of a solid particle or soil is because of compression or compaction of the solid particle. The compaction or the compression of the solid particles, these solid particles present in the soil. So, and next we will study about the secondary compaction